Hi, it's Nev and our Christmas Autism Girl. Welcome back to my channel. So a while back I did a couples face-off video and a friendships versus couples video to try to, I pulled out cards from a box and compared them. So I'm doing that again, but with friendships, just specifically friendship, to see whose friendship is the strongest. Now, I took out Ann and Sprague. I didn't include Ann and Sprague or Corey and John in here because we all know they're going to win. So, because they're my favorites, especially Ann and Sprague. I did a video on it a few days ago. So, you know what I mean. It's just like we know who they're going to win, so might as well just not include them. So we can see who else is really good besides Ann and Sprague. So, anyway. Alright, that's all that's for the disclaimer. Alright, let's get started. So first on the list, first up, we have Raven and Robin from Teen Titans versus Toph and Sokka. So Raven and Robin are both members of the Teen Titans. They're both kind of serious. At one point, Raven was in Robin's mind to try to help him when he was seeing his enemy. And then Robin, they share this special bond. And they're kind of cool. And then we have Toph and Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, Toph is this blind earthbender, and Sokka's a non-bender, and who becomes good at the sword and boomerang. So they probably get along the best out of the people that Toph gets along with. But I wouldn't say their friendship's stronger than Raven and Robin. So we're going to say Raven and Robin win that round. See who's going to face Raven and Robin. Next up, we have Anne and Diana from Anne of Green Gables versus Raven and Robin. So Anne and Diana kind of become instant best friends when they first meet. They ran a three-legged race together in the movie Anne of Green Gables. And then when Anne's falsely accused of purposely getting Diana drunk, they have to break off their friendship, but they swear that they'll be friends no matter what. And so they're very sad, but then when Anne saves Diana runs to Anne when her little sister has crew. And she decides, and the mom changes her mind and allows Anne and Diana to be best friends again. So then in the next movie, Diana's become engaged and Anna's worried because it's not Diana's ideal husband. But in the end, Diana convinces her, and at one point, Diana gives her submits her story that originally got rejected into a writing contest, which Anne was upset about because it's for a baking powder contest, but Diana was just trying to cheer her up. So you have to give Diana some credit there. And Diana wants to name her baby after Anne, which she has a boy instead. But in the end, she ends up having a baby named Anne. So, pretty cool there. So, I'd say between Raven and Robin versus Anne and Diana win. Because they stay strong despite growing up. Next, we have Ricky and Emma from H2O versus Anne and Diana. So, Ricky and Emma are friends, both mermaids in the H2O Just Add Water show. And they decide that they're going to become friends. And so they're very opposites. Emma has this strong controlling personality, and Ricky's more aloof and rebellious. So she kind of has trouble making friends at first, but then they eventually bond and become really good friends. But I would still say Anne and Diana are stronger than them. So Anne and Diana win that round. So let's see who's next. Joey and Josh from Liv and Maddie. So Joey is the younger brother, the oldest brother in the family. She's the younger brother of Liv and Maddie, but he's older than Parker. He's kind of this goofball who's unpopular at first. But then it becomes popular when he makes a new persona. And then Josh was originally Maddie's boyfriend, but then Maddie chooses Diggy over Josh, and so I'm not a fan of it, as I made that face. And so Joey and Josh become friends, and one time Maddie and Josh rekindle their friendship and decide they're still gonna be friends even though they're exes. But Joey's nervous and becomes insecure with his friendship with Josh. But then he eventually tells Josh he's the best friend he's ever had. So I like them a lot. They don't get featured very much. But at one point, Joey actually cheers Josh up. And then Josh is down about his breakup with Maddie. It's hard. Joey and Josh were Anna and Diana. I'm going to say, since Anna and Diana get more screen time, it's hard not to go for them. Yeah, Joey and Josh. Okay, who's next? Next we have Eric and Jack from Boy Meets World versus Anna and Diana. So Eric and Jack is Sean's half brother and Eric is Corey's older brother. So their brothers are friends, are best friends, and they kind of become best friends. And in the end, they start this rivalry over this girl, Rachel. So, but they still are pretty funny and they're good friends. But I'm not a big fan, so no. Next up, we have Ezra and Sabine from Rebels versus Ann and Diana. So, Ezra and Sabine are about the same age in Rebels, and they become close. But at first, he has a crush on her, which makes her feel awkward, and she just ignores it, his advances. And so eventually, they have a stable friendship, and they kind of look at each other as brother and sister, and they don't have a love story because the creator, Dave Filoni, didn't want them to have a love story. So it's fine. I'm just going to say Ezra and Sabine. And Diana got eliminated. Okay, and next we have Beast Boy and Cyborg versus Ezra and Sabine. So Beast Boy and Cyborg are from Teen Titans. Cyborg is a cyborg, and Beast Boy is a green shape-shifting human and who can shapeshift into different animals. And they're really good friends. They love playing video games together. They just love hanging out, inventing games. I just really like their friendship. And Cyborg always makes sure that Beast Boy gives Raven space. So, yeah, we're going with Beast Boy and Cyborg to win that. Next up, we have Cole and Jay from Ninjago. I think we know who's winning, but who's going to win this? We're going to talk about it anyway. So Cole and Jay from Ninjago. Cole's the Black Earth Ninja, and Jay is the Blue Lightning Ninja. And they're really good friends at first, and then Jay's girlfriend Nia develops a crush on Cole, and then Cole and Jay kind of develop this rivalry that lasts throughout season 4. Through half of season 4 when they're pitted against each other in a tournament round, and they end up getting all their pent up anger against each other. But then they eventually reconcile, become best friends. Jay and Cole decide that they stay friends in season 5, and then season 6, Jay calls Cole his best friend. Cole's proud of this. He supports his relationship with Nia, and in season Day of the Departed, Jay tries to move Cole out of his despair, and he says, "I get everything to him back." When Cole's thought to be departed, So, and later he calls him his best friend again. And he's very sad when he falls into the Oni. So yeah, I love Cole and Jay. So I'm gonna say they won that. Let's see who else we have next. Ned and Peter Parker from the Spider-Man Home series. Home trilogy versus Cole and Jay. Ned and Peter Parker are best friends in the movie series. And Ned is the first to know of the second to know of Peter's identity as Spider-Man. And so he keeps it a secret. And then he supports him in the third second movie. He kind of is distracted by his new girlfriend, but then they break up, and so he's back to supporting Peter in season 3. in the third movie, I mean. So, and then he supports him and stays by his side, helps him find the villains, and then he forgets them in the end. It's really sad. I cried. Anyway, but I still have to say Cole and Jay win that. So next we have Lance and Eugene from Tangled the series. They've been best friends their whole lives. They're the closest thing they have to family. Until Eugene finds his dad, of course. And they're from Tangled the series. Lance is an exclusive series. And then Eugene, of course, or Flynn Rider, is the character. And so they're best friends. They were orphaned in the orphanage together. But I want to say they're stronger than Cole and Jay. So we're going to eliminate them. So Cole and Jay are still winning. So we'll see who's next. Cole and Kai versus Cole and Jay. I put two Ninjago characters on here. So Cole and Kai are pretty good friends. They end up, Kai's the red hot-headed ninja, a fire red ninja, and at one point they get along pretty well. I mean, Kai immediately attempts to save him when he falls into the Oni cloud, but I would still say Cole and Jay are better because they're best friends, and Cole and Kai are just friends, and Kai's closest to Lloyd anyway. Tom and Marco from Star vs. the Force of Evil. So Tom was Star's boyfriend at first, and then Marco kind of moves into the scene, and then he and Star are best friends, and at one point, when Tom and Star get back together at one point, when Marco moves in, and then Marco has feelings for Star, but then Tom's kind of there, and then Tom's jealous of Marco's relationship with Star. But then, at the end of season 3, they develop respect for each other. Tom even calls Marco his best friend. And in the end, when Tom breaks up with Star, he says, you know what, we're cool. If you and your best friend want to become something else, I want to be mad. And then Marco tries to claim the Blood Moon curse was lifted, but then Tom says, we know what you two have maybe is something better than a curse. So it's a pretty cool moment. So, I really like Tom and Marco and their development of their friendship. But then Cole and Jay, they're from Ninjago. I have to say Tom and Marco because they're just so interesting. So next we have Lucas and Farkle from Girl Meets World versus Tom and Marco. Lucas and Farkle are best friends in Girl Meets World until Zay comes along and they kind of have this rivalry for who Lucas's best friend is. But then Lucas calls Farkle the best friend there could be, and he calls him his best friend when Farkle's being bullied, even though Farkle's insecure, and Lucas is like behind him when Farkle tries to change himself. Lucas tries to change him back. So, even though Tom and Marco started as enemies and become friends, I'd have to say Lucas and Farkle win that one. They're pretty cool. Next we have, they're stronger, I think. Wait a minute. I put Amy and Diana in there twice. Okay. Let's see. Who's next? Steve and Bucky versus... I should not include MCU characters in here. I'm just doing TV. I don't know why I even wrote them. Katara and Toph versus Lucas and Farkle. I don't really like Katara and Toph. I would just say Lucas and Farkle win. So next we have Dewey and Webby from DuckTales. Dewey and Webby are pretty good friends up until Webby meets Lena. That just kind of thrown away. And then Dewey and Webby become friends again. And then Lena comes back. So then kind of Dewey's kind of shoved to the side of Webby's life. No on that. Lucas and Farkle win. And then we have Aang and Zuko. Ooh, I like Aang and Zuko. They become enemies to friends, kind of like Tom and Marco. Well, Tom and Marco are really enemies, are more rivals to friends. And Aang and Zuko versus Lucas and Farkle. I'm gonna have to go with Aang and Zuko just because they're more interesting. And they have a really strong friendship in the end. So we have Aang and Sokka versus Aang and Zuko. So, Sokka's always got Aang's back, but then Zuko teaches Aang firebending and he changes. So. Oh, that's hard. I'm going to go with Aang and Zuko still. And next we have Dewey and Launchpad from DuckTales versus Aang and Zuko. Now, Dewey and Launchpad are best friends. Launchpad calls Dewey his best friend. And then later in season 3, Dewey says, "Of course you're good enough for me. You're my best friend." It's so sweet. That's this really sweet moment. So, Dewey and Launchpad are like my favorite part of DuckTales. So I'm going to have to say Dewey and Launchpad win. Alright, we're almost done. We just got a few more. Next we have Riley and, I don't really like Riley and Maya. They're not even the qualification is Dewey and Launchpad. And then we have, I wrote these and I'm still eliminating some that I didn't like. Teddy and Ivy from Good Luck Charlie versus Dewey and Launchpad. Now Teddy and Ivy are best friends. They get along pretty well. I just would have to say Dewey and Launchpad are better. Next we have, second to last, we have Lucas and Zay. Lucas and Zay are childhood friends, and then they are really so. I'm gonna say no. Lily and Launchpad still win. Let's see who's BJ from Charlie. They're best friends. They get along pretty well. I'd still say Dewey and Launchpad win this. Wow, very impressive. Good for them. So yeah, that concludes it for this contest of the friendships. I have to throw all these cards away. But anyway, that was really nice. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends about my channel. Send me an email at autismcontact@gmail.com. See you later.